Do you ever feel like your whole life lives in your head and it's exhausting? Or do you have 50 random notes posted everywhere, a million and one planners that you've tried, and a few random apps on your phone, but nothing actually feels organized? Same, because I have been there more times than I can count. And that's why I created my life map that I use on Notion. It's literally been serving as my second brain for all things mom life, marriage, content creation, and everything else in between. If you're new here, hi, my name is Cherry. I am a stay-at-home mom of three living in Hawaii, and this is part of my reset era, becoming me again after three kids. Today, I'm going to be giving you a tour of my Notion life map that I created myself. And yes, if you've been following me for a while, I've been getting a lot of requests and comments on giving a tour for the life map that I use. And it's basically how I keep my personal goals, my marriage, my kids, my cleaning, my mom life, and my content ideas organized all in one place. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, grab your coffee, grab your tea, or whatever you want to drink, and let's get to the video. So please excuse my congested sounding voice. I am getting over a cold, but I'm not going to let that stop me from creating this Notion tour video. And I want to give that to you because you've been showing up for me and I want to show up for you. So before we get into it, I did want to disclaim. I feel like I have to do a little disclaimer. This is not sponsored by Notion at all. I'm pretty much self-taught. I've watched a ton of YouTube videos. And no, this is not a how to use Notion. This is just a full tour on my life map that I created on Notion. And I'm just going to be giving you a rundown on what it looks like and how I use it in my day-to-day planning. So now we got all of that out of the way. Let's get into the actual tour. So this is what my life map looks like on Notion. I made it as simple as can be for myself. I get so overwhelmed if there's too much things stimulating me to the eye. So I like this layout where I have 6 different categories in like 2 columns. It's broken down into personal, content, list, rhythm, and home and goals and intentions because this is just where I'm at right now in the season of life and in my motherhood journey. Those are the 6 core areas that I want to focus on and that I really need to organize. And so this is basically just a dashboard of my life map. I'm going to go over personal first. So in my personal planning, I have a habit tracker, a brain dump, and then my weekly and daily planner. So the habit tracker is as basic as it gets. I have a habit tracker to track my habits for the month. I like to put memes onto my pages just because it's just a nice reminder and it makes me laugh. And I love this meme where it says, sometimes you just got to remind yourself that you're a bad little berry bitch with a juicy little booty who deserves all the good things coming your way. Because yes, I feel that way so much. And I tried to find a cherry picture, but I couldn't. So a raspberry had to do. I like to set up my trackers with progress bars. On this habit tracker, it has a circle progress bar where it just shows how much of the habits I actually accomplished that day. And obviously, this is what it looks like right now because the month just started. And I have all of the habits here that I'm working on for the month. And hopefully, I can get better at all of them because so far this month hasn't been good to me because I got sick in the first freaking couple of days of the new month and that was so annoying, but I'm not gonna let that stop me and take over. So it doesn't look the best, but I'm trying. When September is over, I will toggle it, and then the thing I like best is I can just drag and drop it into the habit archive folder or page. And I didn't create this idea on my own, somebody else created it. I watched this YouTuber who had a whole archive page for all of her trackers, and I was obsessed with that idea because it's just a great way to see your past goals and your past habits, and maybe you want to continue on doing it in the next month or something. And then when I drag it into the archives, I will just click this new month tracker and then a whole new habit tracker will come up and ready for a fresh start for the new month. And then for the brain dump, I'm not going to show you because I have some personal things on there that I don't want you seeing because it involves my family, just like my personal life. It's not organized in any way or fashion. It's just a brain dump. It's just all of my ideas, all of the clutter that's in here onto my map. I have brain dumps everywhere, honestly. I have them on my phone. I have them on in my notebooks. I have them on post-it notes. I have them everywhere. But on my life map, basically tied to a lot of content ideas, cleaning, scheduling, like weekly planner, and all of that fun stuff. And then my weekly and daily planner is one of my favorite pages that I made on Notion. This is probably the page that I visit the most, and it is as simple as can be because I don't want to overwhelm myself with too much going on. And I like this system. It's been working for me lately, and I'm a weekly planner. So if you didn't get to see my weekly planning tips that every mom should have, I have that linked below. It's in my Mom Mindset Reset series where I share all the tips in weekly planning and how you can feel less overwhelmed with planning for the week. This is pretty much the system that I've been using. I have it viewed by the week. I can also have it viewed by the month, but I like it week by week just because I don't want to see the whole month. Sometimes when I start for a fresh week, I will click this button where it says new repeating tasks. And then this is the best thing about digital planning, okay, you guys, is you can automate things, copy and paste, and you don't have to do that extra step of rewriting and erasing. Now, I love writing, and there's something very therapeutic about writing, and I get that. But right now, when I'm planning for the week, I don't want to be writing. I just want to see what I have to do and put it on to the planner. And especially if it's things that I consistently do every week, I don't want to keep writing that down every week. So in my life map, I have the repeating task button where I just press it, and then all of these tasks come up. What I do is I just drag and drop weekly grocery shopping to Sunday, and then I'll do my meal prep maybe on Sunday too, and then trash and check mail I'll probably do on a Wednesday. Batch filming I try to do on a Monday, and then I'll do the rest just instantly, and I could be done in less than a minute. That makes me so excited, and I love this part of my planning because it's easy. And then I can also just drag and drop it to another day if I can't do it that day. Let's say because I have to pick up my mom on Wednesday, I will type in pick up mom. If I want to get super organized and detailed, I have a type of event it is. So if it's meeting, self-care, home, content, event, appointment, finances, stuff like that. So obviously picking up my mom is probably, I would just say home or event. Let's not forget to drink our drink, okay guys? Let's go over the list portion now. In my life map, I have shopping list, meal planner, and packing list. So the way that my shopping list is set up is not my idea. I took this idea from another content creator. I actually used a lot of her Notion tutorials in my actual life map. So I'll link her in the video and down in the description because she's amazing and I love her so much. She basically helped me understand how to use Notion. The way that she set up her shopping list is how I've been using it for the last couple of months, and it really works, especially when you're doing big, bulky restock shopping. I use just a basic pen and paper for my weekly quick grocery runs, but for this shopping list, I use for like my big restock, like those big Costco haul types of shopping. And let me just show you. If I check the box, so let me say I check oranges, it'll disappear and it'll go back into the pantry tab. Now, what is the pantry tab? The pantry tab is where I will go when I'm making my shopping list because it basically serves as a digital pantry list. And I love that because the decision fatigue is real sometimes. And when you have to keep thinking about what you need to get out of your pantry, kind of drives you crazy sometimes. It's been driving me crazy a lot. And so I created this. The way that it works is it's categorized right by the item and then the area of the store, and then it just says got with a question mark, because if you have it in your pantry, all the boxes should be checked, right? So if the boxes are checked in the pantry, that means that we have it in the pantry. And obviously I would have to go into my actual cabinets and pantry and go look if I have the items, but this still saves me a lot of time because sometimes I'll remember, oh no, I do need ketchup. So if I need ketchup, I know I need to uncheck the ketchup. When I go back to the shopping list, it will have ketchup right here, ready and just instantly put onto my shopping list. I didn't need to write it down. I didn't need to do any extra steps. I just unchecked it from my pantry list. I will also just put here whatever store that I'm going to get it from. I'll go to Target and then it'll categorize it. And then when I get the ketchup from the store, I'll just check it and then it'll go away from the list so that I only see the remaining things that I need to get. Moving on to meal planner. Now, I am going to just admit it right now. For the record, I have not been good with my meal planner. I really want to be. And I feel like every single mom that I know also talks about this. Meal planning in general is one of the hardest things ever when it comes to being a mom, being a parent. And I want to get better. So I created this menu tracker where I just have all of the recipes that I use on a day to day or a monthly basis. And I put it all on here. And my goal was to have all of these recipes and I'll just go through them through the week. I will check it if I plan to make it for the week. So for instance, if I do barbecue chicken, I'll check it. A meat jun, I will check it. And then whatever I check will go into this week's menu so I can see it right at the top and I can plan to go shopping for it and create those meals. But I haven't been really good at it and I want to get better. So that's definitely a goal for this month. I just need to use this. And then the packing list is very similar to my shopping list where it has two different tabs, one for still need a pack and then one for packing list. So it works similar. I just have travel plans here on the side where I put where we're going. We've been doing a lot of staycations, so packing list is necessary. So here's what I have left to pack. This is just an example. I have diapers, wipes, pack and play, and the gas relief drops for my baby girl to pack. On the still need to pack list, I will just look at it and be like, okay, I need to get all of those. But when I get them, I will just check them and they will disappear and they will go back into the packing list. All of the check boxes should be checked because I packed them all, right? And then this has just been super helpful because it's a whole list of everything I pack every time that we travel. And sometimes I have to add in different things, but 99% of the time, this is the exact list of things that I actually pack into our luggages, into our duffel bag. If you're looking to lessen the decision fatigue, you need to write out all of the things that you actually pack, whether it's a notes app on your phone, because that's how I did it before. Just list out everything that you're going to pack every time because you don't have to think about it anymore. It saves your energy and your brain, I promise you. And we're just going down the list here. So the next part is my home, which is basically cleaning and budget. So the cleaning tracker is probably my second favorite page on my whole Notion life map because I am not a fan of cleaning. I am probably on that side of the mom community that doesn't like cleaning. I'm getting better at it. I've been trying to record myself cleaning so that it holds me accountable. I really want to get better at cleaning and that's why I made a cleaning tracker. So if you're anything like me, maybe consider something like this. So this is what I have here. Daily must-dos and weekly must-dos is basically out of habit now. I was talking about decision fatigue. If you suffer from that and you want to lessen that fatigue by making decisions throughout the day, you're going to want to set a day for what zone you're going to clean. I've been doing this for the last couple of months and it's been very effective and helpful with making me not as stressed out when it comes to cleaning. So for example, on Thursdays, I designate the kitchen to just be my kitchen cleaning day. And then on Friday, the living room is just my designated living room cleaning day. Laundry too. I have a specific day for the laundry. For example, my boys are on Thursdays and then the baby is on Monday. So something like that. So simple. These are all out of habit. I just put it there for more aesthetics of this page. But this is where it gets to the most exciting part for me. And I spent a lot of time figuring out what kind of system I wanted for tracking my cleaning. And so far, this has been working for me. So it's a cleaning scoreboard. This is how it looks like. It has a progress bar because like I said, I love progress bar tracking on my trackers. And right now, 25% is done for the kitchen and my boys' room is done 100%. Because last month, if you saw my monthly reset video for last month, I did not touch my boys' rooms and I need to. They were disgusting. And so I made sure to get that out of the way right away in the beginning of the month. So that's why it's all done in 100%. I just untoggle and look at what the tasks are. So for living room, I need to deep clean the couch, deep clean the carpet and walls and the curtains. And if I get that done, I will just check it and then 33% done already. But if it's not done, then I'll uncheck it. There's no schedule to it. I just go onto this tracker when I have the energy to do a cleaning task. So for example, maybe on Thursday, since it's my kitchen cleaning day, I will go onto the kitchen cleaning tracker. I will go and be like, oh, maybe I can deep clean the fridge too today. So that's basically my planning. If it doesn't make sense to you, don't do it. But for me, this makes sense to me. And I've just been loving the system so far. Same thing with my habit tracker is I will just toggle it and drag it into the archive, click the button that says a new cleaning scoreboard, and then a whole new one will come up all fresh and ready for the new month so that I don't have to come up with all of the cleaning tasks all over again. It just automates it for me. And that I'm telling you, that is the best thing about digital planning for me right now. It just, the copy and pasting makes things so immediate and less overwhelming. These are just other cleaning tasks that I have to do quarterly, biannual, and then annual. So the X's are just representing what I already did, and then the empty boxes are things that I didn't do yet. Okay, switching to voiceover because I totally forgot to record the budget tracker portion while I was filming. Go figure. This is how I run my budget tracker. This is only my weekly budget tracker. It is not my financial profile at all. I run our finances on a whole completely different website, but this is basically what it looks like. So this tab here has the fixed budget, total expenses, and the working balance. And the way that it works is that I have a set budget for the week, which is $400. And for example, if I have $150 I spent at, let's say, Target, this is the total I would put, and then the total expenses would be put into this tab, and then the working balance would already be calculated to $250. That means that I would have $250 left to spend. The way I set up this budget tracker is that it just calculates everything for me, so I don't have to do that extra step. So just like this, if I spent $60 on gas, I would just put the place and how much I spent, and then the total expenses would be already calculated, and then I would have the working balance, which means I would have $190 left to spend for the week. But let's say I do a restock shopping, and these are just examples so that you can see, because sometimes I do go over budget. We're not perfect here, and I spent, let's say, $200 at Costco, and I would have to put in the budget for the tab so that it calculates it for me, and then it would turn out to a negative working balance, because let's be real, sometimes that happens, and that would just mean that I don't have anything left in the budget to spend, and I need to like relax on spending. And that's pretty much it for my budget tracker. I like to go over this every week, and then once I'm finished, I would just toggle it, and then I would drag it into the budget archive, and I would click that fancy button that we love so much in Notion, and it would show a whole new budget tracker for the next week, ready to go for me to keep track of how much I'm spending. And like I mentioned before, it's super simple for me to use and understand, so I highly recommend getting a budget tracker that is easy for you and that you can see yourself using every week too. Don't overcomplicate it, make it simple. So for the content part of my life map, I have content map, idea dump, and a growth tracker. So I created a content map for myself because I am a small content creator trying to grow her brand, trying to grow on all my platforms, and I needed a system to just organize my content ideas and actually put it into a calendar. I needed a system to be consistent and actually have something where I can visually see what day I'm going to post what, and especially for YouTube. So this is what it looks like for me. I have YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, but right now my focus is YouTube and TikTok only because that's where I've been seeing the most growth. The content calendar I like to see in a week's view. I can also see it in a month's view, but remember, I'm a weekly planning girly, so the week view just makes more sense to me. It's less overwhelming. I have a parking lot of ideas. Basically, the parking lot is the idea for the month that I plan to do, and then those are my content pillars that I've been trying to incorporate into all of my content, but it hasn't been really going that way right now because I'm just trying to create systems first. But I have a lot of ideas in there. I'm not going to show you because I don't want to spoil any new content that's going to be coming up. So for example, here is my life map Notion tour. I really want to get it uploaded by Saturday. When I put it onto my calendar, I will put the day that I want to upload it by, not the day I'm going to film. Have it into content type, so clearly it's a face to camera kind of video, but I can also put in different types like vlog or voiceover. What platform is it for? It's definitely for YouTube. I can add in quick notes, but I won't. And then the status right now is probably done, and then target date is the day that I want to make sure I upload it by, like the deadline for myself. And here on the bottom is just giving me the script. That's just been working for me as a small content creator, and it's nothing fancy and it's nothing too crazy. It does help me be organized, and I actually get my content out on time because I plan it out. So That's my content map. And then obviously I'm not going to show you my idea dump because it's pretty much similar to my parking lot and all of the ideas that I have for all of my content. But this one is just specific to my content, specific to whatever I'm posting onto social media. My growth tracker is just something I started implementing just in July because I wanted to see my actual growth zoomed out. And so this is what it looks like in just a glance. I'm not going to go over them all, but it just basically shows my current followers or my current subscribers, my goal number that I want to get, and how much subscribers I gain, and then revenue if I'm making money off of that platform, and then what month and year. It's just a way to keep organized my actual growth so that I can see the small wins, because even small wins are better than the really big wins. And then I can just reflect on how that month went and see if the numbers reflected that, if that makes sense. In my rhythms portion of my life map, I have monthly reset planner, weekly reset, and a reset tracker. So if you've been following me for a while, you probably saw my monthly reset planner video where I talk about planning for the month, and I actually plan with you step by step in my monthly reset planner. This monthly reset planner is something that I'm giving out to you for free. It is linked down below in the description. All you need to do is put your email and your name and you will automatically get it. If you want to see how it works, you can go ahead and watch that video. I linked it here or find it down below. It's just a great way to start planning for the month. This reset planner can help you get started. And my hope is that it works for you and that you continue to use it throughout your whole journey. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, it's totally free and it's down below. So I'm not going to go over my monthly reset planner on here because I already have a video on it, so you can check that one out. But basically my weekly reset is a page that shows a whole checklist of everything that I want to do in my weekly reset day. So I have a mom brain reset, a kid prep reset, meal kitchen reset, home flow reset, and a marriage connection reset. It's more like reminders of if I forget what I'm supposed to do, then I can go back to it. My reset tracker is pretty much the same thing, where I have my morning reset, my evening reset, and then my Sunday traditional reset, my non-traditional reset. If you didn't see that video too, I talk about the non-traditional resets that you can do, which is basically hidden spots around your home or in places near your home to reset if you don't have the energy. So if you want to see that video, I also linked it below. Then my Friday financial checklist, and then my mid-week, mid-home reset. And that's pretty much it for my reset tracker. I only go to this when I really need to, because these are already basically habits of mine that I know to do and routines that have stuck through me already. But I like to have it on here just if I need to go back to it and really look at what I need to do. And then this last part is the goals and intentions. So I've been doing quarterly goals and intentions just because I like the idea of quarterly planning and quarterly reflecting. We used to be a teacher before I was a stay-at-home mom, and we obviously plan by quarters, and I just kept that going. Right now we are in the last month of the third quarter of the year. Isn't that crazy? Here are the goals for me that I created in July. So you can pause to read it if you want, but I have it in personal, content, and then other. And then what I would do for reflection, obviously we're not done with the quarter three yet, so I have nothing in reflections, but these are the questions that I would go over when I reflect. What were your top 3 wins? What lessons did you learn? What do you want to release or do less of or get rid of entirely? And then what is your why? Because it's always good to reflect on why you're doing the things that you're doing. The last part of the goals and intentions is the annual bucket list. Now, I wanted to do this with my family, so I have nothing filled out yet. I really wanted my family and I to create goals, like a bucket list of things that we want to do within the year. So it could be like going on a trip, like to Disney, or for me and my husband, it could just be like doing a date night every week. It's just like an annual bucket list, just a place for us to hold our dreams and our goals on that we could possibly get done within the year. But I need some time to sit with my family to do it. So it's all empty right now. But I like this idea. I thought about it randomly one day, and I thought to put it on my life map. Okay, and then at the very, very bottom of my life map, I have a task manager. It's nothing crazy. It's literally just my weekly planner and my content map in tabs so that I can see them right away if I don't want to like click on the page to go to it. It's just right here on the task manager on the dashboard. I have the content map in full view though of the month, just so I can see it in that way if I wanted to, but I can change it into a week's view if anything. And then I have my weekly to-do list like I showed you earlier. And it's just there if I want to see it, but if not, then I'll just toggle it and it'll disappear. But this is what my life map looks like, and it works for me, and I'm so proud of what I created. This system has been really helping me with feeling less stressed, less overwhelmed, because that is the goal. That is why I made my whole entire series on YouTube, is to feel less stressed as a mom, to create systems that are easy and would work for me. Before I created this life map, I used to just have sticky notes everywhere, or I would just write every event that I had on every single calendar that I ever owned, and nothing really was organized. So having this life map in Notion has really helped me with having everything organized in one place. It's really the whole goal and the whole purpose of the life map, because now I know exactly where everything is and I can just go back to this. But it's not perfect, and I'm not perfect, right? Like I told you, and I don't do everything every single day, but it's here for me, and it's a really good support in keeping me accountable and keeping me organized. And it's really not about the aesthetics, it's about having peace. We all want peace. And having everything in one place lowers the decision fatigue and helps me stop feeling like I'm always behind. So if you're trying to build your own system, I highly recommend you creating something like this, whether it's on digital or on paper and pencil, so that you can feel organized. If you want a place to start, I have a free monthly reset planner that you can use any time of the month. It doesn't have to be in the beginning or the end of the month. You can use it anytime, and it's free. And don't forget to subscribe, because we're going to continue on with this reset era, becoming us again after having kids. Because like I mentioned before, motherhood is already hard, but that doesn't mean that we have to do it alone. So from one trying mom to another, you are doing great.